Welcome back for another lesson. I'm Ms. Bond, and today we'll focus on visuals and multimedia elements and how they contribute to a text. Let's go ahead and get started. Jordan did not like school. He loved art class, but that was it. Today was Tuesday, which meant reading day, and he absolutely hated reading. But Wednesday was art day, so the quicker he got through today, the quicker he could get to tomorrow. Let's make sure we're going ahead and we're looking at the image or the illustration. We can tell by the looks on everyone's faces that this is probably Jordan. He felt an impending sense of doom as he trudged his way into class. The bell hadn't rung yet, so everyone was walking around as they talked to their friends and caught up on their day. Jordan was new to the school, so he hadn't made any new friends yet. The bell rang just as Jordan slid into his chair, pretending to be invisible. "Good morning, class," said the teacher. "I hope that everyone had a pleasant Monday. As you know, Tuesday is a day dedicated to literature and reading. So we will be writing our own stories and exchanging them with each other to read out loud in class today." Jordan stifled a groan. He already had a tough time putting his thoughts into words, so writing a story would take forever. "You have the remainder of the time this morning to write a story, and we will read them after lunch," the teacher continued. So we can definitely see in the first picture that Jordan's probably walking into class with a sense of dread, and he's not really enthusiastic about the day because he knows today is going to be heavily focused on reading. Determined, Jordan started working on his story. He had a plot he had recently thought about, so he meticulously Let's circle the word meticulously. That is a super fifth grade word. And let's think about what that word means. We first know that it's an adverb because it tells how he's doing something. Let's keep reading to see if there are any context clues that might help us. He had a plot he had recently thought about, so he meticulously wove his way through his thoughts. So he's weaving his way through his thoughts and putting them into words. This wasn't as bad as he had thought it would be, so meticulously probably means that he carefully did something or thought about something. So he carefully wove his way through his thoughts and put them into words. This wasn't as bad as he thought it would be. 4 hours later, when the bell rang for lunch, Jordan stared in awe at the completed story in front of him. He hadn't thought that he'd be able to do it. So he surprised himself, right? He was excited about his story in the end. He smiled all throughout lunch. He couldn't wait for his story to be read out loud. "Yes, the story is very interesting. How about you make a comic out of the plot? I've seen your drawings, and you're very talented. We can pass the comics out to the class tomorrow. What do you say?" asked Miss Lou. "Yes, Miss Lou, I would like that very much," Jordan replied and smiled. So Jordan's day is kind of turning around, right? We started out here, and we can see that it's getting better and better. He's still not too sure here. He's like, maybe I can do it, not real sure. He couldn't wait to go home and work on the new project. He quickly packed up his remaining things and made his way home. Jordan spent the rest of his afternoon locked in his room. He occasionally emerged to get some construction paper or a new glue stick. What do you think emerged means? He would occasionally emerge, probably come out, okay? And he would come out to get some construction paper or a new glue stick. Jordan's mom wondered what was going on, right? Because he was so fixated and so focused. The next morning, Jordan got to school early. In his hands, he carried a round box that he could hardly wait to show everyone. He made his way to Miss Lou's desk and showed her his contraption. She was both surprised and awestruck. It had taken a lot of talent to create something so complex. Our class started with a display of Jordan's project. He had created a rotating drum with his story portrayed in a comic on the side. In the middle of the drum was a handle you could use to rotate the comics. Wow. The class oohed and awed over Jordan's unique creation. The best part was that everyone enjoyed his story, which was obvious by the way they hung onto every word. So if someone or if people are hanging on to every word, they're like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? They're on pins and needles trying to figure out what's going to happen next. So they're that interested. The rest of the day passed in a blur of laughter and fun. After all, Wednesday was art day. So we are now into Wednesday. This is Wednesday. This picture, he's bringing in his creation, and he's eager to show his classmates. So we can write eager by him. Okay? As the dismissal bell rang and Jordan got ready to leave, he felt a tap on his shoulder. "Hi, Bill," Jordan answered amiably. "I wanted to say sorry for what I said yesterday," he said apologetically. "Everyone has different strengths and weaknesses, and it was wrong of me to make fun of you. So we even have a theme or a lesson learned in this text. You are incredibly talented. I could never make something like that." He pointed to the drum on his desk. "Thank you for that. I accept your apology. If you would like, you can come over sometime, and I could teach you how to make it," Jordan offered. Both boys smiled at each other because it was the start of a new friendship. Let's go ahead to our questions. Which sentence from the story is supported by the first illustration? Choose all that apply. A, Jordan did not like school. Let's go back to the illustration and look. Does it look like he probably doesn't like school? We can probably infer that he doesn't like school. He loved art class, but that was it. The bell hadn't rung yet, so everyone was walking around, talking to their friends, catching up on their day. We can definitely see that, right? They're talking to each other, waiting for the bell to ring. That's a sure answer. Jordan was new to school, so he hadn't made any new friends yet. Well, they have friends, right? And he's kind of by himself. And it did say in the first sentence, Jordan did not like school. He loved art class, but that was it. So the text does say that, but do we see that in the picture? We do not see that in the picture. But we can see that he's really not communicating with anyone. We can see that the bell hadn't rung yet, okay? So we are going to include D as an answer. Let's go on to number 2. How does the second picture help the reader's comprehension? Choose all that apply. So choose all that apply means we might have more than one answer. So let's go back and double check with the illustration now. Okay, so he's feeling a little bit better. He doesn't appear to be as upset or down as when he walked in this morning. So let's go back and look at our answer choices. The picture shows that Jordan is now excited to write. The picture shows the reader how lonely Jordan is. No, he's not really lonely anymore. This picture shows how difficult writing is for Jordan. This picture shows that Jordan's attitude about writing has changed. Our best answers would be A and D. Because he's kind of got a smile on his face. He's feeling a little bit more excited about his writing. And we also can see that it is adding to the word determined. He's determined is what our text says. Number 3. In each illustration, the illustrator portrays Jordan's feelings through the expression on his face. How do the events in the story cause his emotions to change? So the question is essentially asking what is happening throughout the text that is causing him to feel the way he's feeling. Let's look at the first illustration. We know why he's upset. He doesn't like school. He really wants it to be art class, but that's the next day, right? and he's dreading reading. He felt a sense of doom as he trudged his way into class. So let's start our writing with, in the beginning, so now we should be thinking about why has that changed? Once he was given his writing prompt and once he was given his assignment, he was actually intrigued and determined to do a good job. I'm going to read that back to you once more. In the beginning, Jordan is feeling dreadful about the day ahead. He really wants it to be art day, but it's reading day. Once he got his assignment, he was intrigued and determined to do a good job. Make sure you have that written down. You guys did a great job today, and I'll see you next time.